Sometimes we downplay our emotions because we don't want to be labeled as too emotional by our friends or our peers. And bottling up your feelings sometimes can actually just end up hurting you. And it's better to just speak out and say plainly what it is that you feel. Welcome back. Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Eglah and this is a safe space for positivity and growth. And judging by today's title, we are going to be talking about downplaying your emotions and how to overcome that. And I do hope that this is going to be beneficial for you. So yeah, let's get started for you. So downplaying your emotions, you're probably asking yourself, okay, how does this even happen? I mean, sometimes when someone genuinely asks me about something, I am not going to truly express how I feel. I tend to hide that. There are a number of reasons as to why you're doing that, but I'm just going to go with some of the basic ones. And the first one is your surroundings, especially when you were growing up. It's probably that in the kind of setting that you are in, you are not expected to say exactly how you feel about something. Your emotions were downplayed every single time. Not necessarily even when you're growing up, but probably in the setting that you are right now, probably at your workplace, probably at school, you were not given the opportunity to express how you feel, and you have probably just been carrying this around and saying that what good is it even going to show if I'm going to tell someone exactly how they feel and they're not going to react exactly how I expected them to. I'll definitely tell you this, that you cannot pan out everything that happens. How someone reacts to exactly how you've stated something has nothing to do with you because you have no control over that. The second one is negative self-talk. This is why I am so heavy on self-affirmations and telling yourself all the positive things that you can do. You not saying positive things to yourself, where you're just saying hurtful things to yourself, will probably make you downplay your emotions because you are probably sad about something. You're probably sad about a thing that you have wanted to achieve and you haven't. And once you start downplaying your emotions, you're going to tell yourself, you're not even that good. Why do you think you could have won that? And you end up suppressing your thoughts. You end up suppressing your true feelings. And one way or the other, they're really going to show up sometimes, because when we bottle up our emotions, we are going to crack sometimes. And so you need to tell yourself positive things. That way you are not going to suppress your feelings. You are not ever going to hide some of the things that you're feeling. If I am angry at you, I should be able to express that. Sometimes we are compelled to hide some facts. Sometimes we are compelled to feel. Sometimes we are compelled to hide how we do feel. But in situations where you ought to show how you feel, it would be so necessary if you are able to just show that and not downplay how you truly feel, because you can be sending the wrong message to someone and end up not setting boundaries with the people that you ought to. The third one is fear about what other people are going to think or say. This has a really great relation to self-validation. Sometimes when we try to seek validation from others, we can tend to downplay our emotions because we don't want them to see how we truly feel. We want to act as strong as we can, and you are going to want to react according to how other people are going to accept it. You probably are so angry about a friend who crossed some boundaries and you established them from the beginning. But once you downplay this because you are probably in a friend group and all of them agree with this person, they're not agreeing with you, and you're going to be like, okay, it's okay, but next time just don't do it. Or you're just going to say, okay, it's okay, I probably overreacted. Now again, you are downplaying your emotions because you don't want them to see that fire inside you. You don't want them to see how mad you are because of a certain thing that has happened. And by this, you are not going to establish boundaries with some people, and it's going to mess you up in the long run because you are going to end up seeking validation from them. You are going to end up pleasing them instead of pleasing yourself, instead of establishing that, hey, I am not okay with that, and that's that. There's no compromise whatsoever. So stop fearing about what other people think of you. Do what you think is right. Express your emotions how you should, so that people don't step over you and feel like your emotions are not necessary or probably label you as too emotional. You're not too emotional. How you feel, that's it. Finally, I am going to end this by saying low self-esteem. Yes, low self-esteem is truly the root cause of so many other things that come with sinking our wellness. You're just not going to make your own decisions for yourself. You are not going to stand firm. When you are confident with yourself, with everything that comes from you, it's going to be so hard for people to make you feel bad about yourself. It's going to be so hard for you to downplay your emotions because you are already confident about what you truly feel. Now let's do some exercise right here. I want you to think about that skill that you have. It could be on sports, it could be where you work. You are probably the best designer ever. You are probably the best musician that you know. I want you to actually just feed into that thing which you do so well, you don't even need to practice for it. Of course, you're very confident about that kind of skill, right? Now, I want you to do this. Let's take that instance of you being one of the greatest designers there are, and you are designing a template or a poster. You are so confident about the color scheme that you used. You are so confident about the logo, about literally everything that has come to place with your poster. And someone, you have even no idea about their background. Probably they're also a good designer. Probably they're not even a designer. You have no clue about that, okay? And they come and tell you, I think that poster is so hideous. I don't even think you've done the best with it. If you are confident about your skill for that matter, about the work that you've done, that one comment isn't even going to scare you. And not just one comment, but also if there are even multiple, you're not going to budge because you already know that my work is great. I know that. I have gotten the credentials for it. I do get compliments, but let's not even put the compliments on this side. You're already confident about what you do. And even if your poster isn't that great and you got those kind of remarks, you are not going to care because you are so confident in yourself and you know that it's going to be a matter of time before you become one of the best designers. And so you don't even care about that. You care about your journey, you care about your growth. And that is why you having a really great self-esteem is truly necessary. So I hope we've been able to discuss the causes and you've understood why we might have been downplaying your emotions, and now we can get into identifying it, and then finally we talk about how to deal with it completely. So this is just a small portion. Recognizing when you are downplaying yourself can be somewhat tricky, and this is because it's hard to understand that. So we can just try to understand some of the ways we can recognize it, but understand that it can be tricky, so you need to double check that. We can start by saying some of the minimizing words that we use in our sentences when we are describing our emotions, of course. Sometimes you can say things like only, just, and always. I say always a lot, but let's just go with those 3 words. When I'm describing how I feel, probably I have an altercation with my friend. We're talking about how they hurt me and I'm telling them, this is how I truly feel. And because I don't want to come out as too emotional, I'm just going to be saying, yes, that only. I feel sad only. I don't feel embarrassed when you tell me this thing. I'm just going to say only, or I'm going to say just, so that they only see a portion of what I truly feel, because I don't really want to open up and tell them exactly what they've been doing. You get it? Or in certain situations, you might downplay someone else by saying, you are always saying this, this, and this. You are always making me sad. You are always proving a point with this, this, and that. And you truly know that it's not always. It's just probably they do that a lot. So you should say that I feel you do this and that, probably so many times. You get it? So you can end up downplaying someone else's emotion, and I've used the word always as part of that. Or you can downplay your emotions by using just and only, so that someone can only see the tip of what you're really saying and they don't get to truly understand how you truly feel. Okay? You can try evaluating your life and trying to understand some of the times you have probably downplayed yourself. It's again tricky, but it can prove effective, especially when you're journaling. You can try to just do some shadow work and you'll be able to understand that, okay, this is probably why I felt this way probably last year. And so by you just analyzing and evaluating this, you can be able to recognize this. And again, just keep tracking how you react to things. Probably you'll be able to understand whether you have been downplaying your emotions. Now, finally, I can show you how to overcome this. And they're very easy tips. The first one is learn how to be kind to yourself. Exactly. That video that I did where I talked about prioritizing yourself, your self-care, just equates to this. You need to be kind to yourself. Anytime you have messed up, stop trying to push yourself too hard, because again, it's going to push you and you're probably going to even have low self-esteem because you won't be able to trust yourself. So with being kind to yourself, kindly trust yourself, trust your emotions, so that when anyone ever comes to you and they're trying to, manipulate you, you are going to be able to know that, and you're going to be able to say that, wait, I'm confident about the kind of thing that I am expressing, the kind of feelings that I'm expressing, and this is exactly how I feel, take it or leave it. The second one is setting boundaries. This is truly important because you are going to be able to set certain rules. You're going to be able to set those boundaries, and you really won't take in some things that you shouldn't take because you've already established some boundaries. People already understand that you do not accept certain things, and so when you set boundaries, again, you should be able to stick by them. If I say that I don't tolerate this as Eglah, I should not budge and say that, okay, I leave some exceptions for this, I leave some exceptions for some kind of instances or some friends. I need to be able to stick by that so that I cannot be swayed, and I'm going to set my boundaries so plain and they're going to stick. The third tip that I can give is take a risk. And the reason I'm saying this is because you're probably scared of judgment or what people will think about you. So I want you to take that risk. Whenever you're speaking out about something or you want to just express yourself and you feel the urge to shut it down, I want you to take that risk and say exactly what you feel and express exactly what you want to express. You are going to be able to learn how to do this, and especially make this a habit, because again, I keep telling you, some of the things that we do, it's out of habit. And by you establishing a habit where you're doing proper things, where you're saying no and you're not downplaying your emotions, it's going to stick on and catch up with you, and it's truly great. Finally, the tip that I'll leave you with is surrounding yourself with positive people, people who are going to encourage you. Now, the reason for this is quite simple. If I am around friends who never say good things about me, I'm using never, but okay, they hardly say anything good about me. They make me feel like I'm inferior. They do not compliment me at all. They just put my opinions in the trash, and I end up feeling bad when I'm around them. Why should I continue to be around that kind of company? When you're around friends or company that compliments you, tells you good stuff about yourself, when you point out something, they don't just tell you to shut up or tell you that, nah, that's not good. They will find a way to just counter that kind of opinion that you've given, and they don't make you feel bad about yourself. You feel loved, you feel appreciated. When you surround yourself with such people, you are going to even become brighter. You are going to understand that, okay, this is how things should be. I should be able to air out whatever I feel. I'm going to be comfortable. I'm going to be able to express exactly what I feel. So again, just check your surroundings. Make sure that you're around people who bring out the best in you. Make sure you're around people that are going to say good stuff to you. Okay, and this brings me to the end of this video. I hope you truly found it informative and you loved it. In case you did, and other videos that I have made, kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel.